Truman, the Midwestern politician, understood exactly how you sell these kinds of things to the American people, because what he did was to give a definition to the world that Americans could understand and which they could become committed to. Because what Truman said was, the world is essentially now divided in two. On one side are the totalitarian and the enslaved peoples. On the other side are the free peoples. He then looked at the Republicans and said, which side are you on? If you are on the side of the free peoples, give me the $400 million. That put the Republicans in a terrible position, which is exactly, of course, what Acheson and Truman had in mind. And Truman got his $400 million within a matter of weeks.
President Truman signs the bill for $400 million aid to Greece and Turkey.
The president had committed Americans to a battle against communism all across the world. The policy became known as the Truman Doctrine.
I wondered how far-reaching this was going to be. What does it really mean? This is a sweeping decision, asking for an open-ended faith in a policy of protecting the free people and bringing freedom where it didn't exist. And it was awfully hard to know exactly where those limits were.
The president would resist communist aggression abroad. He had issued a declaration of Cold War.
I think Truman's great contribution to American politics was to figure out how to get Americans to commit themselves to a war which was cold rather than hot, a war which had not been declared, a war which is extremely complex, and yet which Truman defined as a rather simple war between the enslaved and the free peoples.
The Cold War had begun, and it would last for the next half-century.